Y'all are not ready for today because the Dollhouse palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics has arrived, and I'm so ready to dive into this palette for the very first time and give you guys my first thoughts, impressions, and create a beautiful eyeshadow look. Let's get started. For starters, this is the third palette in the Blend Bunny Cosmetics eyeshadow palette trio. The first palette in the collection was the iconic Blends Rainbow palette. This is such a phenomenal palette. Then we had her sister, the Surge palette. Again, so beautiful, and it's just pretty much like an elevated, ramped up version of the Blends palette. And now we have the, what's going to be, I'm sure, iconic Dollhouse palette. So let's open her up. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Look how beautiful. So as you can see right off the bat, this is staying true to the Blend Bunny Cosmetics eyeshadow palette layouts. We have 30 pans, and this time we have 2 complete rows of shimmer shadows. So we have 12 shimmer shadows and 18 matte shadows. Now something you might see that is different than the other two is that this palette has a built-in mirror, which some people love, some people don't really have a preference over. I personally don't care because no matter what, I always use my own hand mirror. But if you're someone who wants a mirror, you got it. So I'm gonna start with this right in my crease area. Whoa, barely tapping it and it shows up beautifully. So I'm just gonna take this and just in circular motions, apply this shadow in the crease and around a little bit just to start off creating this shape that I want. So right off the bat, this color applies so beautifully and it blends so nicely. It's not patchy at all, which is what I expect from Blend Bunny Cosmetics shadows. Their formula is incredible. So I'm just gonna take this down towards the inner corner of my eye. This B4 brush is great because it's super controlled. It allows you to get really pigmented shadow very precisely where you want it. It's really, really great. So now I'm just gonna go around the edge of that and just lay the brush kind of flat against my eyelid and just soft circular motions blend out the edge just so it's ready for the next shadow that we're gonna place on top of it. Next, I'm gonna take my B1 brush and I'm gonna dip into something lighter. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Baby Doll, which is the color that's directly above that first shadow we used. And I'm gonna use this to kind of diffuse and blend out that first shadow and give it a nice blended moment. So just go over the edge. I always say to do the 50-50 rule, which is 50% of this shadow on top of the first color and 50% above it. Oh, also, I did already upload a swatch video, so if you want to see swatches of all of these shadows, that is already posted on my channel. Okay, so that blended out very, very nicely. Now what I'm gonna do is go in with that first brush and the first shade again, just to deepen up my crease a little bit. Because typically when you blend out this first darker color, you're always gonna lose a little bit of that pigmentation, so completely fine to go back in and just bring a little bit of it back. That is such a gorgeous and easy blend. Okay, so I'm actually gonna move on to the lid next, and then we'll get back to some of the matte shadows, but I'm gonna go in with my pinky, and I think we're gonna dip into, I'm feeling like lace, no, maybe tulle. I said this wrong in my swatch video, I called it Tully because I have never heard of tulle, but yeah, it's this one right here. We're gonna place this onto the lid, again, with the finger. These shimmers in the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes apply best with your finger. I personally like to use a brush, but the brush will get the job done, but if you want instant pigmentation, instant payoff, super fast and easy, use your finger. Look how stunning that is. That is so pretty. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, and it has such a beautiful like shift to it in person. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but in person it has a beautiful shift. Is that not stunning already? The answer is yes. Okay, so next I'm gonna go with my B5 brush. I'm going to very carefully dip into Plume, which is this really dark purple right here, and I'm gonna use this to softly, hopefully softly, blend the shimmer and the matte shadows together and just kind of give it a little bit more shape, structure, and depth. So right here on the outer corner, I'm just gonna be very light-handed with it because it is a bit darker than the first colors. Stamp it on, blend it out a little bit, take it down onto the lid ever so lightly, and just kind of feather it in with the shimmer. Then I'll take it up and around a little bit into the crease just to make sure it looks kind of blended in and seamless. That's pretty. That definitely leveled it up a little bit. Again, I'm going to go in with Rouge, which is the first color we used, just to bring back a little bit of that pinkish color. Always want to make sure that everything is blended. And then again with Baby Doll, just to make sure. How gorgeous is that? It's super easy, super quick, super wearable, and super beautiful. That shimmers everything, honestly. And the fallout, like what fallout? Now I'm gonna take my B2 brush and I'm gonna smoke out underneath my lower lashes. I think I'm gonna go in with No Strings, which is over here, because it's kind of a mixture of all the colors that I used earlier. I don't want something super dark underneath my eyes, but I feel like that should be good. Let's see. Now, if you've seen any of my eyeshadow tutorials, which hopefully you've seen all of them, I always use my Makeup Shack T14 brush for my under eye. So today we're trying a different brush, and I'm really loving this. It's very soft, and it's like the perfect amount of product being applied. It doesn't take the shadow too far down. So I might have found a new favorite under eye brush. I just stabbed myself in the eye. Like this video because I stabbed myself in the eye. Tell me this eye look is gorgeous. Tell me it's stunning, because it is and you know it. Okay, so for my inner corner, I'm gonna go in with Lace, which is the bright white shimmer right here. I'm just gonna tap that in my inner corner, because y'all know I like an inner corner moment. Just to give it a little sparkle. A little sparkle, never hurt nobody. Yes. So quickly, I'm gonna throw on a little bit of this lilac liner. Is that the color? Lilac? I think that's lilac. I don't know. Lavender? Whatever. So we're just gonna throw that on the lower waterline. This color will help brighten and enlarge my eyes, but still is cohesive with the colors of the look. Let's throw in a little mascara. So real quick off camera, I'll do the other eye, throw on a lip, and I'll be right back to give you my final thoughts and show you the final look. Okay, I am back, and here is the finished look, all complete. Now, this is gorgeous. 10 out of 10 gorgeous, and you know it's true. I'm just like obsessed with it. I'm actually just like staring at it because it's beautiful. Okay, anyway, so let's do some final thoughts on the Dollhouse palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. So for starters, the packaging is so beautiful. I love the logo because obviously it's in line with the other two palettes. I love the addition of the glitter font because that's beautiful and definitely fits the vibe of this palette. Overall, the inside, so beautiful. I love that it's still a large 30 pan palette. I think that's fantastic because it allows you to be super versatile and have a ton of different combinations when it comes to color story. Additionally, again, there's a mirror in this palette, which is great for those of you who want a mirror. If you don't want a mirror, oh well. I love that there are 2 rows of shimmers this time around, whereas in the Surge palette there was 1, and in the Blends palette there were none. So if you love shimmers, you're gonna absolutely love this palette. They are very, very creamy, very smooth, very soft. They apply best with your finger, but you can still use a brush. It just takes a couple of seconds longer, but finger is just fine. The pigmentation of these shadows from the ones that I've used so far were spot on. The blendability was 10 out of 10 exceptional. It's definitely something that I expect from Blend Bunny Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. Pigmentation, blendability, it has both of those. I definitely think if you have not purchased this, that you definitely get on this. And again, if you haven't gotten the other 2, why? So overall, the Dollhouse palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics is an absolute 10 out of 10, hit it out of the park kind of moment for me. I hope you enjoyed today's overall look that I came up with and today's tutorial and review, because that's all I have for you guys today. So if you did enjoy today's video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up down below. Click that big red subscribe button so you can join my YouTube family. Turn on my video post notifications by clicking that bell icon and switching it to all. And I thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have the day you deserve. Don't forget to buy this bad boy.